type of dog is this?
G'day there, how's it going? This episode of Smoko Talk is absolutely massive. In this very special edition, the boys jump on the 19 tram and take you down to Mainy on the iconic Sydney Road. From trying to get Jakey Stringer to sign a samurai sword to hopping in bins at the Woolies carpark. The boys take a trip down memory lane and reveal their favourite hotspots. They also yarn about hit songs such as Don't Go to an Orgy and Sunshine. Jump on the tram and enjoy Smoko Talk. Just remember to watch out for the plain-clothed Met dogs.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Smoko Talk. We've got something very special planned for you today that has us both very excited.
It's naughty.
Yeah.
It's a bit cheeky.
As a lot of you guys will know, we've basically grown up our whole lives in Brunswick, West and Coburg. So hopefully you guys are all aware that probably the jewel of Brunswick and Coburg is Sydney Road.
Oh, yeah. Doing Mainys. We've been doing Mainys for as long as we can remember, up and down Sydney Road.
Sydney Road's in some illustrious categories as far as streets go, like Sydney Road, probably Glenferrie Road, similar category.
Brunswick Street.
Brunswick Street.
Chapel.
Puckle Street, maybe.
Oh, Puckle. Oh.
Yeah.
Puckle's very naughty. Puckle's very small scale, but in terms of sheer size, Sydney Road really takes the chockies, and it's so diverse.
Diverse is a great word to use to describe it,
and we love it.
So today we thought we'd take you guys on a Mainy down Sydney Road, starting from Bell Street and ending up. I don't know, we might wrap it up at Barclay Square.
Yeah, Barclay
See how
Square.
we go.
So starting at Bell Street, then where are we kicking it off?
I'd say probably got to be the Post Office Hotel. Not the Post Office, sorry. The
Jumping a bit ahead of yourself there.
the Post Office a little bit further down the road. The Browns Corner Hotel.
Absolutely.
Well, now you and I have spent a lot of time at the Browns.
Yep.
Over the years.
And look, if we want to just get a little bit cheeky, we'd probably start off at not actually on Sydney Road, just a little bit down Bell Street, probably at the Dirty Bird for a zinger box, and we'd make our way past the sushi and hand car wash.
Yeah, the sushi. I've always thought when I'm getting my car washed that I could go for some sushi. So that's a genius business idea to combine the two.
That is a fusion like no other.
Yeah.
And so long as Gordon Ramsay doesn't get a whiff of that joint, I think we should be good. But yes, the Browns Corner Hotel. Now, why do we love it?
We love it because on Wednesdays they have 2-for-1 main meals. Really, that's. I don't think there's many times I've been there not on a Wednesday, because we're very good at going in a round number, so we can get 2 Palmers for the price of 1.
Yep.
And the other thing about the Browns that's underrated is they have pokies and a TAB. Now, obviously gamble responsibly, ladies and gentlemen, but that adds another dimension for 2 reasons. First is the people that pokies and TABs attract.
Yeah, good people.
And the second is the ability to win not very much money on those things as well.
And if you've got, we're not big gamblers, but if we've got poo change lying around, a couple of coins, we don't mind just having
us through the pokies or something.
Yeah, have a slap on the tradie's laptop. And I'll never forget when one time I was there with Noz, and he's whacked $2 in, and max bet, of course, pump it. And he's just walked straight out with a pineapple, $50 off the first hit.
Unbelievable. I reckon I've fed about $50 through those machines over the course of my time going there and never won a cent.
Yeah. So apart from 2 primes for the price of 1, we've had some pretty good memories there. And a couple of pretty good pool tables there too.
Yeah.
So
shame I got you covered in that department though. So
well, winners don't like to win and tell.
yeah, righto. Moving on.
Yeah, we'll edit that one out. Where are we off to next?
I reckon next we might bypass the Coles on Sydney Road because
we'll probably grab a kebab at MKS though.
Yeah, grab a kebab at MKS because I reckon they do the best kebabs going around. I like how they use the Turkish bread instead of the wraps, which
and a good amount of oil just really soak into the bread. And then I'd probably pop into Fat Harry's for a Bombers beanie. But if I'm going
Fat Harry's, always got to look at the $2 shops.
Yeah.
We got a calendar at work from there, which features women wearing not a lot.
Yeah,
$2. So
right.
I think that's the reason. That's the reason that we've got it. It was cost $2 more so than the women wearing not a lot. But
that's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Next we hit, and this is probably where we're going to spend most of our time for this podcast. Coburg Mall, tasty sub,
heaven on earth.
The post office. When I say the post office there, I mean the actual post office as well.
Smoky one.
Smoky one. Couple cafes.
Yep.
The best spot in Brunswick, Coburg to people watch.
Yes, absolutely. That is like, you can sit there all day, honestly. And
people do sit there all day.
It's entertainment. And it's just such a community, tight-knit community. Like, you see the same people all the time. You might not necessarily talk to them, but they acknowledge that they see you see them, sort of thing. So it's sort of, for an outsider, Coburg Mall might be a little bit confronting, but for us, it's a second home.
The pigeons as well really sum it up, I reckon.
Yeah.
That they're bloody all over the place. But you do see at Coburg Mall, if you walk down there, you always see the same group of, I don't know whether they're Lebanese, Turkish, Greek, Italian, whatever they are, always sitting there having a coffee. No matter what, COVID-19, no COVID-19, they're sitting there having a coffee. And it speaks volumes of the place that every time you go overseas for a prolonged period of time, it's the first place we hit up when you get back.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I honestly get off the plane and I'm so excited to walk up to Coburg Mall and just have a look.
Have you had any interesting run-ins at Coburg Mall?
I've had plenty over the years.
Any you can shed some light on?
Honestly, man, you're really putting me on the spot because is there one in particular that you wanted to touch on at all?
No, I can't think of any.
It's all blurred into one. I've just seen,
because it doesn't surprise me anymore.
I've seen so. Well, actually, yeah. There's one. It's more characters that stand out to me. So me and Ash one day we called the Pigeon Pied Piper. He was wearing he's wearing a pair of Asics runners that he had crafted into sandals. So he'd basically just cut off the top of the toes on his Asics runners,
turned them into slides.
Yeah, but he still had the heel and everything on. All he's cut off is the toe. So just for a bit of air on the toes, I guess. But he also had a recorder and he was playing to the pigeons, and they were flocking to him. He was playing this recorder. I couldn't really pick a tune, but maybe it was some sort of special pigeon melody that he had formulated. But
bit like one of those snake charmers in India.
Yeah, like one of them. Yeah.
Except with pigeons.
Yeah.
If that's not the most Melbourne thing ever, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I mean, the 60-cent loaf of woolies bread that he was tossing around probably also lured them in a bit. But I like to think that it was the musical talent that
we'll stick with that story.
Yeah. But yeah, that's probably one of the most memorable characters that I've seen in Coburg Mall, and there's a lot there. But I won't go
truly
into that
is.
too much now.
Yeah. So moving on from Coburg Mall, a little bit further down Sydney Road, we hit probably Za'atar, maybe the next place.
Yeah.
Za'atar do real good like Lebanese pizza sort of things. I don't actually know what they're called, but they're tasty.
Pretty sure it's called a Za'atar, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I like to duck into Sports Amart just occasionally if I'm really bored.
Yeah, that's where you go when you need a new pair of those white New Balances that old American men wear at their barbecues.
Yeah, a bit of dad runners. So
Yeah.
But then it would be off to Za'atar's and then get a nice cheese pie, spinach and cheese triangle, and then head on down. And you're probably at this point just doing a bit of walking, getting a bit of fresh air,
Taking in the sensory overload that is
exactly.
Sydney Road.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're going to hit Moreland Road.
And if you've been real lucky to this point, you will have had at least 3 cars drive past you revving their engines at 40k an hour, because that's what the speed limit is.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and probably a couple of limos as well. There's quite a few bridal, like wedding sort of shops along that stretch between Reynard and Moreland Road. So, and you also get a few. I often find you get a few limos and stuff like that. A few souped up cars. You also got the 7 days.
7 days. 7 days open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
That's right. That is an iconic convenience store. It's actually featured in a song about Zinedine Zidane in a music video. So
yeah, that is true.
That's really put that part of Moreland on the map, that part of Sydney Road on the map.
Yeah, you can get pretty much anything there as well. Anything you want.
Anything you
want. A bit pricey,
but it's open 24/7. So sometimes that's the price you got to pay.
Yeah, exactly. Next we hit Moreland Road. Now, Moreland Road, for those of you who don't know, is the divider between Brunswick and Coburg. So we've been travelling through the Coburg part of Sydney Road now, which is probably a little bit more multicultural than the Brunswick side of things. A few more of those bridal shops you were talking about than Brunswick has. And then now we cross into Brunswick, and right on the corner there you got the Moreland Hotel.
Yep. I grew up in the Moreland, mate. I was king of that playground.
Yeah, not if I was there, mate.
Oh, look, man. The Moreland Hotel, some of my earliest memories, I had a fair few birthdays there.
Yeah.
And they did a mean spag bowl.
Yep.
They've got the statue of David.
The cloud sky painting on the ceiling. So
that was unreal.
Forget that you're inside sometimes. It's that good.
Yeah, it's like when you go in there in the bistro. So I spent a lot of my younger years in the bistro, and I don't really need to go to Athens anymore. It's not really on my list because I've been to the Moreland.
Yeah.
And I've got my head stuck in between two of the pillars there.
Yeah. Well, does Athens have a playground like the Mall?
No.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Absolutely not. So, and then as I got older, we obviously shifted more into the gaming bar, which is good for watching some fights and maybe a couple of trots. But
it is a good place to go and watch like pay-per-view fighting.
Yeah, it is. Watch a bit of boxing, a bit of MMA.
Yeah, they get a good crowd going there. Interesting people.
Yeah, and the bartenders are just lovely. Absolutely wonderful people. So, yeah, that's the Moreland Hotel. Across the road, you got Pit Stop Kebab. Can't say I've actually ever been there.
Neither.
And maybe I'm not sure why it's called Pit Stop, but it's pretty close to Centrelink. So that might be a sort of a, they get a lot of business on Thursdays on pension day.
Yeah, well, I just to touch on the Centrelink, how much like Centrelink money do you reckon goes through the Moreland Hotel?
I'd say probably 70% because, I mean, what else are you going to do after you've spent 2 hours in Centrelink? You need to go and treat yourself, and where better else to do it than the Moreland Hotel?
Yeah, that's true. I'm moving a little bit further down the road now. Actually can't think of what comes next.
So we'll probably
After
going
the
to have to
Moorland.
move between Moorland Road and maybe Albion Street. So in between there, you've got your
Where's Don Bosco's in there somewhere, isn't it?
Don Bosco's all the way down at just almost at Albion Street. So probably before I reach Don Bosco, I'm hitting the Salvos is there. A couple of pizza nights at Dicey's Pizza back in the day.
Yeah, Dicey's. Very nice.
They were unreal. And yeah, so I reckon Don Bosco, we could probably jump down to Don Bosco. That place is where dreams are made.
Yeah. If you got yourself hopped up on Red Cordial and went to Don Bosco as a kid, there's no such thing as a better time.
Yeah. And, I mean, just Don Bosco's got everything. The fact that someone explained it to me very well one day. It's a great business concept, although it doesn't cost any money to get in there. You've got the church has obviously set it up, I think.
Yeah.
And then you just so some bloke from the church has just got a bunch of trampolines, a few pool tables, a couple of foosball tables, chuck some bunny rabbits out at the back and a couple of dogs, and then just get your weird mate to work there and invite all the local kids down to just go crazy on the Red Cordial.
Yeah.
And I spent basically probably 50% of my childhood between the age of like, I reckon maybe 10 and, I don't want to stitch myself up here. I can't say 16. I might say 6 to 12 I spent there. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, no, you're right. Don Bosco was a great place because as a parent, you could just take your kid there, drop them off, and you'd know they'd be all right, most likely, as long as they didn't fall through the springs on the trampoline or something like that.
I landed my first backflip at Don Bosco, so like a few milestones have been made there. Probably my first slam dunk as well was at Don Bosco. So
yeah, I got a front flip at Don Bosco one day, which I was pretty happy about.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, and just one more thing on Don Bosco, that bell, that whistle that's played every time you got to switch over the trampolines after you have your turn, that is forever ingrained in my mind. And anyone who's been there will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Correct.
It's like the ding on a tram.
Yeah, the old 19.
Yeah. So then we cross Albion Street, and we're sort of getting down up. So we're at the Edinburgh. It's the Edinburgh Castle Hotel, isn't it?
Yeah, that's on the corner of Albion and Sydney Road.
And look, we've got to give a mention. It's not there anymore, but best butter chickens I've ever had.
Oh, yeah. Raji's Instant Indian.
Oh, mate.
Get them back.
I don't know where'd they go.
I think they got bought out by Town Hall Kebabs.
That's right. They're in there. And they've got 3 bloody joints.
Yeah.
Well, 2 now. They lost their caravan, but you can't go. It's nowhere near the town hall.
Yeah, well, Raji's was an institution for starters, and who doesn't want Indian food, which probably upsets your tummy a bit at best, but who doesn't want Indian food that's been sitting in a Bain Marie for a couple of hours?
Yeah. Or a mango lassi.
Yeah, exactly. Cheap as chips. You're laughing.
Yeah, extremely disappointed when I found out that place had gone under. And I found out a lot because we probably missed a few joints that were around when we were kids, but that have just been long forgotten now. But as we move down we get to the sort of the hill, and we're almost at about Hope Street. You go past the IGA, and then you've got Alicia's Kebabs.
Yeah, they do a pretty good kebab in there.
They're probably my go-to for the late night kebabs because there's only about 3 open in the area, like real late, and Alicia's really usually hits the spot.
Yeah, no, you're spot on there. I couldn't have put that better myself.
Yeah,
they're real good actually.
Yeah, they do a real good saucy, like good garlic sauce, and I quite like the way the meat's shaved there.
Yeah, you're right. Something special, a couple tricks in it.
Yeah, And then we sort of moved down. There's quite a few sort of kebab and like sort of shawarma places. One of them's Tibbers.
Yeah.
Or is it Tibet's or Tibbers?
Tibbers, I think.
Yeah. But we actually went there one day after we'd been out for a skate, and there's quite an interesting story, if you remember. We were sitting next to, well, I dare say a bodybuilder. He was huge.
Yeah.
He was drinking a carton of milk. We got in there for a shawarma, and he was drinking a carton of milk. And Noz, the man who says too much at the wrong time sometimes, we all saw this this young woman walk past the window, and she'd obviously had some sort of lip enlarging procedure done, maybe a Botox or something, I'm not too sure, like a lip filler or whatever. And they were very noticeable. And Noz's sort of pointed out to us, have a look at what that lady's done to her lips. And the bloke on the table next to us has sort of heard that and acknowledged. And before we know it, she's entered the restaurant and sat down right across from us, next to the fella, the bodybuilder with the milk. And we've all gone dead silent. And I was like, oh no! Like, we started scoffing our shawarmas to get out of there as soon as we could.
Yeah, no, that one come back and bit him on the ass a little bit, but we did get out of there quick, smart.
We did, and bloody good food in there though.
Yeah. Well, what's the next place off the rank? Maybe Penny Black.
Penny Black or the Duke of Edinburgh.
Duke of Edinburgh, they're both next to each other, so maybe we can talk about them at the same time. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you want to drink a quiet drink, Duke of Edinburgh. If you want to punt, Duke of Edinburgh. If you want to lose your marbles, you go to Penny Black.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Sort of a 2-in-1 combo there, really.
Exactly. Like Penny Black's actually pretty good for a quiet drink as well during the day or weeknights. But if you're there Friday, Saturday night, you better be prepared to get taken home in an ambulance or something like that, because I've seen a few people drink more than they can handle. Yeah. I've cut my hand. I still got a scar on my hand from trying to sweep away some glass.
Yeah, I'm not actually a huge fan of the Penny Black.
No, neither am I. It's a bit fancy for my liking.
Yeah, it is a bit too fancy. Too many people wearing chinos and
the Tommy button-ups.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Now, my mind's getting a bit blurry because obviously it's been a while. It's been about half a year since I've done the Sydney Road Mainy, but we didn't miss out on Franco Cozzo, did we?
I reckon we might have.
Because that's Vic Street, isn't it? Or is that Albert Street? No, it's Vic Street. It's Vic Street.
Yeah.
You got Franco Cozzo and you got Godfather's Pizza.
Mm.
2 Italian sort of strongholds. Yeah, right on the
icons, really.
Iconic, yeah. And then you've got your Mr. Sushi guy and Mr. Noodle guy, who I like to compare to the Chinese restaurant and the Japanese restaurant on South Park, actually.
Yeah.
I for some reason, I feel like they have some sort of feud going on.
Shitty wok.
Shitty wok and shitty sushi. But yeah, and then you go past Bunnings and Georgie Pie, an old classic.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if they're there anymore.
Commonwealth Bank if you need some cash.
Yep. And then we're heading up to Albert Street, and from there, look, I'm not a musician, but the name sticks in my mind, and he's done a good job for it. Peter Valaris. Got the music shop there. I've never played an instrument in my life. I've never bought an instrument in my life. But if anyone ever asks me where they want to buy one, it's going to be Peter Valaris, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I recently got my hands on a guitar that needed to be restrung. So I took him in to see Peter. And he
what into Mr. Valaris's?
Yeah, he had me sorted by the end of the day, taken care of. $50.
Unreal.
No worries. I was pretty happy with that.
Well, then there we go.
Yeah. This happened just last week, actually.
And what, you went there because you thought, I need to get my guitar fixed. Where can I do that? And the name stuck, right?
Yeah,
Peter Valaris.
And the person I got the guitar off said that that's where he bought it from like 13 years ago, 15 years ago. So how's that for a little
looking after the small businesses? Because
correct.
I remember there's back down towards Moreland Road when I used to live on Moreland Road. There was hardware store called run by the Sherrilambos, the Sherrilambos, and that's before Bunnings and all that came along. And Mum used to go there if she ever needed like hardware or anything. I used to go there. They used to absolutely sort me out. They had the big tin of Dulux jelly beans, and they'd just absolutely sort me out. They'd hook me up with the jelly beans.
Problem is when we got our hands on one of those paint tins of jelly beans, they never lasted long enough.
No, they didn't. But that's why they sort of kept it there, because if they gave it to me to take home, they'd be gone within an instant. But it was sort of, I don't know, it just got me excited. I sort of, once I got old enough, I started wrecking things around the house so that Mum would have to fix them and go to the hardware store. Get more jelly beans, and start unscrewing door hinges and smashing windows and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I got my jelly beans.
Moving a little bit further down the road now, I reckon the next place of note for me anyway, obviously Greenfields is there, which is a great little Asian restaurant. Nice and cheap as well.
Cheap as chips and like the best Asian food.
Yeah, it's like $15 for a bit of green curry chicken or something like that.
Yeah, nice Vietnamese noodle soup.
Yeah. But moving a little bit further down the road, we hit, which is probably what Sydney Road, Brunswick is known for, Savers. And we've spent a lot of time in Savers. I've never really, I don't really buy many things from Savers, but
I think
things I have bought are a little bit goofy.
I think it's pretty well known and accepted these days that everyone goes to Savers, but not many people buy things from Savers.
Yeah.
It's just it's a window shopping paradise.
Yeah.
And I've got mixed emotions about Savers these days because they've caught on to they capitalise on brands these days, which has been unfair.
For second-hand Tommy for $30, you can buy a brand new one for $40.
Exactly. So, but I've got a pretty phenomenal football shirt collection, and like I'm pretty good at spotting an authentic from a fake, and so I used to spend hours on end after school just going to Savers and collecting football shirts. So, definitely a lot of fun time passed in Savers.
Yeah, I remember we bought like a whole Taekwondo protective gear set, with the helmets, the gloves, the shin pads, the foot pads.
Yeah, and we went home to karate in the front yard.
I also got a corkscrew of like some old English butler where the corkscrew comes out of his I'll let you connect the dots where it comes out of. But...
Right, okay, yeah. No, Savers is just an all-rounder shop, because there's been nights where I've gone out and thought, I don't need a jacket, and then I'm out and I realise I do need a jacket. So head into Savers, grab yourself a jacket. Or nights when you go into a bit of a funky do, bit of a disco, and you need a colourful tie or, or an overshirt or something, or, a pair of sunnies to make you go a bit faster than usual. So you just head on into Savers and you're absolutely sorted.
Yeah, no, Savers is good.
And sort of across the road and down a little side street, technically is on Sydney Road, Bombay Rock.
Gone.
Which is gone.
Yeah, which is tragic.
Yeah, some very colourful nights had been had at Bombay Rock. Yeah, they had $5 tinnies.
$5 tinnies mixed with open till late as your close time is
free pull.
Yeah, very, very dangerous mix. And to be honest, never ever had anything near trouble at Bombay Rock.
Yeah.
But had a lot of trouble after leaving Bombay Rock.
Yeah, that's right.
The old Woolies car park has tried to claim us a couple times. Can't seem to get the job done.
You can't quite ever make it through that car park without something going on, can you?
Yeah, well, I remember, I think it was my birthday last year before, and we were at the Bombay Rock until about 6 a.m. maybe a little bit earlier, not by much. And we're walking through Woolies car park, and they have a couple charity donation bins. And it was me, you and Aid. And honestly, I wish I remember why this happened, but Aiden jumped into the charity bin. And
I don't know how. Yeah, we just ended up in
picked himself up a brand new pair of shoes.
That's right. And a Jasper Pittard footy card as well.
Yeah, and a Jasper Pittard footy card. So good day. You jumped in as well. I had to stay out to make sure that we didn't get trapped in that there, because that would have been pretty funny. Someone coming to empty the bins and finding us three in there.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I've often thought after that experience, I thought, geez, if I ever get stranded, like feeling like I'm not going to quite make it home on my own two legs, I would honestly get in one of those bins and have a kip for a couple of hours until
set an alarm for a couple of hours later and get yourself up and at 'em.
But this was before an experience that we had on another night after the Bombay Rock.
Yeah.
As you know, like those charity bins often get overfilled at times, and people start just dumping it on the ground around it. And these charity bins on this one instance, I was going to say this night, but probably very early morning, there was donations just littered all over the ground. And we're walking through the car park, and we're just having a look, like what are people throwing here, like blah blah blah. And just our luck, the Salvo's pickup truck had come to pick up the donations, and this big Maori fella winds down the window. Well, actually, he's gone, and we're just standing there, and I'm like, I pulled you out of the way. I'm like,
he wasn't stopping for us.
He wasn't stopping for us. He was going to hit us with the truck. So I'm like, what's going on? Maybe he just didn't see us.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at him, and he opens his door, and he's like, clean it up. We're like, you're having a laugh, mate. Like, good one. And he's like, no, I saw you messing it all about. And we're like, we didn't fucking touch it, mate. Like, you're having a laugh. And he's like, clean it up. I'm like, no, you taking the piss, mate. And then he's gone, don't make me get the hammer out.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm thinking, oh no, here we go. And I didn't really hang around to find out what he was going to do with the hammer. Noz was on his skateboard, so, and then I've looked back, and you're just standing there.
Yeah, I was a bit like a deer in the headlights, and he did jump out of the truck and with a hammer, and as he's lifted it up over his head, I think he did it deliberately, but he dropped it, and as soon as I saw his hand open and drop the hammer, I was like, there's no reasoning with this bloke. I'm getting out of here. So I hit the legs, and I ran towards Brunswick Station, because I thought if I can get near the PSOs, I'm all good. But obviously he didn't chase us. But would have been a shit night for him cleaning it up.
Yeah, he probably knew we didn't do it, but he was like, fuck, I'm not going to clean this out. These boys can do it. But
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we got a bit sidetracked there, but we're almost at Berkeley Square at this point.
Yeah, well, like the next thing down from Bombay Rock would be the retreat.
That's right. Yeah,
which is probably our go-to drinking place.
We'll give a special mention to the Brunny as well, actually, because there was quite a few fun nights had on the fucking $3 James Bogue skewies there.
Yeah, no, they tasted like shit, but for $3 you drink just about anything, wouldn't you? So
yeah. And the Railway Hotel is another institute that I'd like to pay a bit of homage to.
Yeah, well, the retreat, the other thing about the retreat, and probably why it's our go-to drinking place, is you really don't know what you're going to get. The retreat dance floor on a weekend, there's always one really old codger just walking around having the time of his life, chatting up 20-year-olds.
Yeah. There's all sorts of cats on the dance floor, all sorts of funky music. Sometimes I'm not a fan, but more often than not, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I heard a band playing there one night, right? And the well, it was just two people on stage. They were both just wearing like a Speedo. And they played this song called Don't Go to an Orgy in Sunshine. Now I thought that was pretty self-explanatory and didn't really need a song to get the message across.
Right.
But yeah, they'd written a whole like 3-minute song about not going to an orgy in sunshine. So
Yeah.
if any of you are thinking of doing that, don't do it.
It's interesting because this could be the same band, but I heard a band. There was a band at Bombay Rock one night, and the Bombay Rock dance floor is next level, or what next level. But anyway, there was a band there one night, and they played a song called Danger Wank.
That probably is the same band actually, because it is that sort of music.
Yeah. So yeah, quite got around their music quite a bit.
Only I genuinely believe only in like Sydney Road, Brunswick, can you find that kind of music. Like, surely that's not something that's going to be on the Billboard charts or anything like that.
but also at the same time, why hasn't anyone written a song like that before? Don't go to Orgy in Sunshine.
Because it's self-explanatory. I
want to know what the backstory behind that song is.
Well, exactly. Did he learn that from experience, or is that just like he's like everyone else and he just figured it's not a good idea?
Yeah. And also, where do I sign up? Just journalism. But then, yeah, so we head across Glen Lyon Road, Town Hall Kebab from the caravan.
Yeah. Only way to have a kebab out of the caravan.
Yeah. I think they've changed, though.
Yeah, well, the last time I was there...
Caravan?
Yeah, the last time I was there, I ordered a kebab. The guy forgot to take my order. Then when I asked him about the order, it was like, it's going to be 20 minutes. And I was like, give me my money back. I'm going somewhere else. And got out of there. I wasn't happy with them.
Yeah, there was something about them. Like, I settled. I'm never unhappy with a kebab, but...
It's because you're usually pissed when you have it.
Yeah, but like, I always settled for it if it was there, but I wasn't a big fan of the pita bread.
Yeah, no, not me either.
So yeah, but still had a couple of kebabs there before. So, and I jumped the gun a bit before when I mentioned the brunny, because that's a little bit further down. That's basically at Barclay Square.
Yeah,
you got the brunny, and
I always forget the name of the pub. What's the one with the rooftop bar?
Cornish Arms.
Cornish Arms, yeah. That's a good pub for a beer.
Yeah, they've got a real good rooftop bar. Bit pricey, but
house beer is only like $12 a jug or something, though. So
that's all right.
Australian lager or something like that.
They do a good Parma too, like good chips.
Good trivia night.
Can't say I've been to a trivia night there, but
neither have I. I've just been there at the same time it was on. So
yeah, right, yeah. And I guess we get to the interesting part because Barclay Square's got a few little hidden gems around it. I like to start at Hot Potatoes.
Yeah, probably the biggest $2 shop I've ever seen, I reckon.
Yeah, they've got everything, absolute everything. In fact, you can get katanas, you can get samurai swords there, and Connor, we've got a very probably our greatest almost celebrity encounter.
Well, it honestly, this would probably be the greatest story ever if it had have finished. If we had have finished it off.
Yeah. So, we'll get into it. All right, let's go. So this is a lazy day for us. We're doing the round. We're doing the Mainy. We're at the end of the Mainy. We're at Barclay Square, and at this point in time, this was a couple of years ago. AFL player Jake Stringer had just left the Western Bulldogs on not so great terms. He was involved with a bit of a scandal, and he'd come to the Bombers, and the package. He's a good player. He's done all right for the Dons.
He's a big boy.
Big boy. But at the time, I don't think he was playing. I think he was out with an injury or something. And we're walking past Schnitz. Great place. Good chips.
Yeah.
And who do we see? Jakey Stringer walking
the package.
The package. And I've gone, This is naughty, Jakey. You are injured. You definitely should not be here getting fucking chicken schnitty.
Getting the snitty roll.
Yeah, that is naughty of you. So we've gone. All right, he's in there. What do we do? Schnitz takes a while. They take about 5 minutes. So
we wanted to get his autograph.
Yeah, we wanted to get a photo or his autograph or something, but we didn't want to just. He was in his trackies. We were in our trackies. We didn't want to approach him like that. So we've gone. All right, let's go to Hot Potatoes, and let's get him to sign something for us. And so we've gone for the samurai sword,
as seen in Step Brothers, the movie.
That's right,
Reggie
Randy Jackson.
Yeah, that's the one.
And we grab a permanent marker, and we run out. We're off to Schnitz, and he's gone into the mist.
Yeah, no, it would have made my dreams come true if we could have got Jakey to sign our katana.
Absolutely gutted. And then on top of that, we're just feeling absolutely robbed at this point. So we've made our way through Berkeley Square into the car park, gotten in the car, turned the car on, radio comes on, first thing on the radio, and news. So it must have been Eddie Maguire or something. And big news, big inclusion for the Bombers. Jake Stringer will be playing tomorrow night. And we're thinking, get absolutely dogged.
Carbo loading.
We've just seen the bloke on his biggest cheat day of the year.
Yeah. You know what? He might have realised he'd been picked after he'd ordered the snits, so he might have ducked across to Greens, pick himself up a vegan sausage roll and a soy latte. Yeah,
and he might have even gone into the Keno to put himself down for first goal kicker. Who knows? Yeah. we were robbed of having Jakey Stringer's autograph on our katana.
Yeah.
So,
well, if anyone can get in touch with Jakey Stringer, can they please let us know so we can maybe send him the katana and a text to get it signed anyway.
Still got it. I think I lit half of it on fire though.
That's all right.
There's still a little bit there for him to sign. So, Berkeley Square, obviously Schnitz, Mackey's, Kmart, the big one.
Kmart. It's a lot of time spent in Kmart.
Yep. Don't really want to say any more. JB Hi-Fi was a big inclusion when they got that.
Yeah, it's really classed the joint up a bit.
Yeah, it has.
They've even got gluten-free donut stands there now.
Oh, is that right next to the Himalayan salt?
Pretty much, yeah. It's out the front of that Optus, the Optus.
Ah, yeah.
But it's like $15 a donut or something ridiculous like that. But apparently they're pretty good. I haven't tried them.
Outrageous.
That's
good
Brunswick
little
for you,
sushi
though.
joint too. I don't
Sushi.
Yeah, sushi. Go and get in a sushi from food court. Like, it's probably my number one go-to food court food. Sushi, but that one's probably up there with the best in terms of food court sushi.
It's still good at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
which is the real test of a sushi joint. If the sushi's still edible at the end of the day, they've done their job.
Yep. And that just about brings us to the end of the Sydney Road Mainy. And look, we've definitely left some things out.
Oh, absolutely. This might have to be a two-parter.
Yeah, and look, I think definitely one day once I'm back in town, we'll get the camera out and we'll do a live virtual tour because I love Sydney Road and
me too.
I'll never get sick of doing Mainies there. But for anyone listening that thinks we might have missed out an important place, there's a couple of honourable mentions. Joe Halabi, Rotanas.
The Sydney Road Street Party.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's a conversation for another day, but
yeah. Anything you think we might have missed out on, send us a message because we'd love to hear some of the places that like all our friends and stuff love to go to because we're always looking to expand the Mainy. Because our Mainy is pretty quick at the moment these days.
Yeah.
We get it done pretty quick. So anything that we could add to it in the future would be really appreciated. And I reckon that just about brings us to the end.
Yeah. If you haven't already, get around the socials at Smoko Talk on Insta and Smoko Talk on Facebook.
Yeah. thanks for listening. We've enjoyed taking you on this journey, and we'll see you next week.
Catch you later.
Cheers once again for listening to Smoko Talk. The boys absolutely had a blast taking you down Sydney Road on the iconic Mainy. Don't forget to tune in next week and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Smoko Talk.